There is a lot to learn in this game, but here's something no one ever tells you. You don't need to do any of it. There are people out there with thousands of hours into this game who still wouldn't know some of the basics a 10-hour player would think is obvious. Seriously, if you told a veteran that they could use Poogie to find buried treasure and new costumes, you'd probably blow the fucking mind, dude. So here's my smorgasbord of random helpful shit I learned throughout too many hours of Monster Hunter World. Most important thing, the Guardian armor and Defender weapons will ruin your experience. This gear trivializes otherwise simple yet challenging hunts that were originally designed to help you grow as a player and learn the game. But when this gear falls off and you hit a wall in Master Rank, you're going to have so much more to learn and to grind out just to overcome that one quest and proceed as normal. It's going to be very overwhelming. And not to mention, one of the best parts about this game is to feel your progression as you kill monsters and craft new gear. Well, this armor so kindly rips all of that away from you and doesn't even allow you to experience the game until you're many hours in. Now, I don't know why they think it's a good idea to advertise this armor to newbies, but take it from me, just erase it from your memory. Moving on. Next, let me show you some of my settings real quick. I like to have player silhouette display on faint so I can better track my position when I'm behind a monster. Manual sheath, otherwise the game will auto sheath when you have your weapon out too long, and that's just rude. Camera distance on fast so the cameraman won't get hurt during battle. And I like to have volume rendering quality off because I think the game looks and runs better that way, but see what you think. A few tips when it comes to gearing up. The best skill to go for is health boost. Max this out whenever you can. Speed eating, stun res, and evade extender are really good defensive skills too. You can also get these skills on charms, so definitely make good use of those. If you feel that some of your armor pieces are falling behind on defense but don't really want to replace them because they have good skills, go ahead and upgrade them with armor spheres to keep them in line with the rest of your gear. Quick spoiler alert, most layered armor is not available until endgame. Sorry fashion hunters, I hate it too. For weapons, it's very important to note that you're going to take way more damage if you use a ranged weapon. The weapon type bonus may say less elemental damage taken here, but the truth is most if not all elemental attacks have a physical portion to them, which usually results in defense helping you a lot more than actual elemental res. However, if you hit elemental res 20 or higher, you will become immune to the respective elemental blight. Most weapons benefit from raw attack much more than elemental damage, with the exception of dual blades and bow. This means you don't have to worry about crafting a bunch of different elemental weapons if you don't wanna. Just craft something with high attack, good sharpness, and you'll be just fine. Side note, if you're wondering what the hell this grayed out element is, that's just telling you what element the weapon will be if you use the free element skill. Now you want to make sure you upgrade the Botanical Research Center as much as possible. Keep your eye out for side quests to say they'll upgrade the Botanical Research Center in their description, and also complete any deliveries that promise harvest box upgrades and such. Quick note, you can get aqua sacks from hunting Duratotus in low rank. You're going to want to make sure you're always having items being farmed here, and keep up your fertilizers for maximum benefits. You can apply one of these after every quest that you do. Here are some of the high priority items I'd recommend farming if you're just starting out and don't really know what you want yet. Some items are only used for selling, so make a habit of going to sell items and sell all trade-in items. Make use of your item sets too. Pick out a few of your essential items that you always want to bring to a hunt, like potions. Early on, I recommend not bringing max stacks of gatherable items such as honey or bugs. That way you still have room to gather even more if you come across any. But loadouts are a great way to quickly deposit and restock between quests. You also want to make good use of your radial menu, and a very good tip is that if you run out of items on your radial menu, you will automatically craft more as long as you have the necessary ingredients in your inventory. You can also assign shortcuts to mass craft items on the fly. I like to use this for nutrients so I can craft even more max potions for crazy levels of healing. Now this is very resource intensive in the early game, but luckily there is an alternative. Once you hit high rank, you'll have pretty easy access to Mushroom Answer through the Mosswine helmet and by crafting the charm for it. If you're having trouble finding Mosswines, just do the Mosswining and Dining event quest, you'll be fine. This skill allows you to eat mushrooms raw, gaining the effects of items you would otherwise have to spend precious resources to craft. Shoutouts to Giddy Fox Gaming for being a huge believer in the shroom.
Nice.
Now for some easy combat tips. The most important one is that you can roll cancel out of almost any animation, including potions, sharpening, and weapon animations. This is a very simple yet incredibly important skill to master. Next tip, make damn good use of flash pods. These are especially useful against flyers like Rathalos or Rathian, and combined with the radial menu auto crafting tip to be spammed throughout combat if you want. Just be aware the monsters will begin to build a tolerance in the higher ranks of the game. If you own the Iceborne DLC, you can both wound and bang the monsters. Using the Clutch Claw, you can grab onto a monster and attack to tenderize a part. This will either require 1 or 2 hits depending on your weapon type. Hit the tenderized part to deal tons of bonus damage, but you can also wall bang a monster by clutching onto the head and firing your slinger to send it flying. This can only be done when a monster is de-enraged. If the icon on the minimap is yellow, you're good to bang.
Nice.
To start a fight with a ball bang, I like to flash the monster first so they can't roar me off. Then just go straight for the bang, but beware they can still attack you off. If you have Iceborne, you can talk to the cat in the training area to change the target dummy. And I just learned during recording that you can clutch and wall bang this bastard too. What the f***? When mounting a monster, you don't have to brace for every attack that they do. Most of the time, you can just jump to a different body part when the minimap flashes red and you won't get thrown off. Just be aware that some attacks, especially the big jumps the Brute Wyverns do, will require you to brace, but 9 times out of 10, you'll be just fine to keep on going. And something I actually just learned while recording this video, you can clutch claw mid-air right after dismounting a monster to go straight for a tenderize. This is pretty tricky, you do have to be very quick with your aiming, but it is possible, and holy shit it's cool. I also like to give my Palico a status weapon. My favorite is Paralysis. Palicos don't deal that much damage on their own, but this way you can get at least 1 para per hunt, which really adds up. When talking to the handler or quest board, hold right bumper or shift on keyboard to speed up the zoom in animation. A very small but super nice tip. One tip for the ancient forest, you can use your slinger on one of the birds in area 5 to hitch a ride all the way up the giant tree. This will save you a lot of time if you ever need to get up there before you unlock the camp. For easier map traversal, I recommend unlocking as many camps as you can. Simply visit each campsite on the map to unlock a delivery quest to get your camp. You can unlock different gadgets for your Palico, and if you have Iceborne, rideable horses too. But now, I'll show you how to get the most useful and probably most confusing one out of the 6. To get the Plunder Blade, which can steal extra materials from monsters, you're gonna need some raw meat. Go on a Rotten Vale expedition while there's an Odogaron on the map. Go to Odogaron's lair, and wait for him to come back with a Legiana corpse. This will cause a few kitties to appear who will then run away from you. Follow the scout flies to find them, drop some raw meat after they run again, then simply hide and wait until they gather around the meat. After talking to them, go talk to your Palico at camp to unlock the Plunder Blade and Raider Ride mount if you have Iceborne. In high rank, decorations are best acquired through tempered investigations and certain event quests like Triple Threat Throwdown, the Names of Asioth, and the Greatest Jagras. You don't have to worry too much about decorations at this stage of the game, but if you want to get a few extra skills, that's what you can do. We'll go over the best master rank deco farms later. Quests with multiple monsters have way lower HP compared to normal. If there's a really tough monster you want to farm, look for an investigation that has other easier monsters. You'll be able to beat them up way easier and still get their parts. There are 2 especially powerful mantles you can unlock at the end of high rank. The Temporal mantle, which will auto-evade most attacks, and Rocksteady, which gives you boosted defense and hyper armor for the entire duration. The best part about these is that they allow you to clutch claw onto the monster unimpeded, which is massively overpowered. For Temporal, the only requirement is to have beaten Xeno'jiiva. Talk to the Huntsman in Astera to begin the quest chain for the Blazing Sun, Pandora's Arena, and finally No Remorse, No Surrender to get your Temporal mantle. Rocksteady is a bit trickier. You're going to need to be at least Hunter rank 50 and to have hunted 3 to 5 different Tempered Older Dragons. I'm not sure on the exact number. It's one of those things where there's like a bunch of different opinions out there. Who the f knows? But eventually you'll unlock a quest called A Summons from Below. Complete that for your Rocksteady mantle. If you're early in master rank, the Flora Frostbite event quest is a great way to farm resources. You can buy a low rank iron helmet at the armory for Master Gatherer and try to get Botanist level 1 if you can. Start at camp 7 and make your way along this route to gather the plants. You can even do a bunch of mining along the way too. This will net you money, resource points, decorations, and Wyverian tickets, which can be used to craft a helmet with Mushroom-mancer level 2 and exchanged at the Elder Melder for many useful items. Wetfish Fin Plus are one of the best consumables in the game. They allow you to sharpen your weapon in just one stroke, and can often be used several times before being used up. Get these from the Master Rank quest, A Fish to Whet Your Appetite. Bring your ghillie mantle and start at Camp 6. Look for the giant wetfish in the pond here and catch him with your net. But right, all the fish are wet, they're in the water, lol. Then fly to Camp 1 and run to the pond to your left to find the last great wetfish. If your aim is as bad as mine, you can always use the fishing rod for more consistent catches, albeit a bit slower. Once you're done, you can actually set your return destination to camp, box your wetfish fins, and start the quest again for easy spammable grinding. Once you finish the Iceborne story and uncap your master rank, you'll have access to tons of new stuff, and it can be overwhelming at first. But here are a few important tips to get you started. If you want some free rare items, be sure to check out your survey log too, specifically entries 26 and 28. Literally all you have to do is take a nice photo of Zenoga and or Velkhana using your survey camera, and you'll be able to pick up free Celestial Wyverian prints to exchange for any rare drop you desire. You can only complete these once though, so save the tickets for something you really don't want to grind for. You'll now be able to 10x your output at the Steamworks, making this an incredibly efficient farm for consumables, gourmet vouchers, and melding tickets for tons of level 1 to 3 decorations. You can farm a crap ton of Steamworks fuel from the event quest A Farewell to Zenoga. Make sure that you wallbang him as often as possible and pick up every shiny that you see. Even if you fail this quest, you should still end up with a lot of coal, so it's a win-win either way. Quick tip, you can hold down right trigger or spacebar to run the Steamworks on autopilot. If you have something to keep the button held down for you, you can even let this bad boy run while you're AFK. Go for the Frostfang Barioth weapons with the Last White Knight event quest. Try to break his wings as soon as possible to slow him down, and make good use of wall bangs and flash pods to take him out. These weapons have amazing raw attack, sharpness, and even some good ice element, which will help you beat up Zenoga even faster, and also prepares you for Elatrion, a super boss you'll take on much later in endgame that requires elemental weapons. Don't sleep on the armor either, some of these pieces are actually really good. Speaking of Zenoga, I hope you like him as much as Capcom thinks you do, because the Wrath of Thunder Descends is the best quest for decoration grinding until you hit Master Rank 100. This guy is actually pretty tough to beat, but the rewards are definitely worth it. When you eventually hit MR 100, your new deco grinds will be Day of Ruin and Muir number 1. You'll be spending a lot of time in the Guarding Lands, leveling up regions to unlock different materials for augmenting weapons and crafting layered armor, finally. As your master rank increases, your level cap for the Guarding Lands regions will increase too, capping out at level 7 for master rank 100. Keep in mind you can only max out 3 different regions at a time, and which materials you need will depend on your weapon's rarity. To keep it simple, I recommend leveling up your Forest, Coral, and Frost region. This will give you access to everything you need for augmenting Rarity 11 and 12 weapons with both Health Regen, the best augment in the game for most weapons, and Affinity Increase. You can do a bunch of hunting here to level up both your regions and your master rank at the same time for maximum efficiency. Before grinding for Guarding Lands materials, equip a single level of Geologist. This somehow makes monsters in the Guarding Lands drop double the amount of shinies. You also get guaranteed shinies whenever you wallbang or break parts. This makes Velkhana and Ruina no Gigante excellent for grinding high level materials, as they constantly regenerate parts that you can keep breaking off. Since you have unlimited feints in the Guarding Lands, go ahead and use the Fortify skill as well. That's just free Shavakadu. Now there's still a ton more to learn in this game. As you saw in this video, even I was still learning new shit while I was making it. But don't overwhelm yourself, take it one step at a time and enjoy the process. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have any tips of your own you'd like to share, leave them down in the comments. And until next time, happy hunting TM.